Hello guys and welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, then my name is London Hustle and today is going to be a very fun one. We are testing out a brand new bike. We are on the Vmoto CUX Pro. I know that sounds very similar to my usual bike, the CPX Pro, but no, this is the CUX Pro. This is the first time I've tested out a new bike in a very long time, so it's going to be really fun. This is so different to what I'm used to. I also don't have a top box on the back, so we've got a delivery bag in between my legs right now. We're just going to make it work today. This is one of Vmoto's cheapest bikes on the market. It's currently available for £1,999, under £2,000 for this bike. And yes, it is a moped. It's a fully legal moped. You can ride it on a CBT. And also, I have teamed up with Vmoto to actually raffle this bike off to one of you guys. So one of you watching this video is going to be able to get your hands on this very bike I'm sitting on right now for just £2. But I'll tell you more about that later in today's video. All the buttons and gadgets are completely different. You might have noticed as well, there's not really a normal handlebar to attach like a phone mount and things, so we've had to get creative and use the mirror stem here, which is why I've got this new phone case. Yeah, I've just gone online on UberEats, and the plan today is we're just going to do a full delivery, not really any cuts, no edits. Do a full delivery, bring you along for the journey and just talk through the bike, test it out for the first time. I can already tell you this bike is so light and nimble. The range of motion is a lot more than the CPX, but that does mean you feel a bit more naked on the road. I feel like with the CPX you feel very grounded, you've got an established presence, whereas this is more like riding a bicycle through the streets but without having to do any of the hard work, which is great. I think that's going to be perfect for London, just nipping between traffic, getting through cars, and obviously not having the big top box on means I'm going to be able to fit down a lot more gaps today. The mirrors are also actually a lot smaller than the CPX as well. They actually come in before the handlebar ends. On my CPX they extend a little bit further, so yeah, we should be able to get through a few more gaps today, which is going to be great. Oh, we're getting an order in here from Saw Lebanese in Kilburn. Wow, that's going really far, 4.1 miles. I'm going to take it anyway. I usually wouldn't have took this order because it was going something like 4.1 miles for only £5, which is quite low. But because we're testing out a new bike, I don't mind getting some more miles under our belt. Right, here we are at Saw. Let me show you this bike quickly. So here is the CUX Pro. If you've seen my other bike, this is a lot smaller in size. It's a lot shorter this way, but it's also a lot narrower as well, which is going to be great for traffic in London. Let me remember to take the key out. This does have a keyless entry system, so you actually can turn the bike on and off with just the key fob itself. You don't actually need to put the physical key in, which is a nice little feature there. All right, let's go pick up this order. Oh, I'm so used to having my old phone case. How do we do this? Can we just take this off at the back? Does it like clip on and off? I'm not sure. I'm just going to take my phone out. We're picking up just one item from here, boneless chicken with rice. Nice and easy. Hopefully this is going to be ready for us. Here, mate. Order for Gulio. There we go. Cheers, mate. Thank you. All right, order on the bike. And we have got, wow, a 20-minute journey to this customer. That is a lot further than I was expecting, but at least it's going to give us a nice long time to test out this bike here. Now, one thing you might have noticed, well, one of the main things you've probably noticed is the whole front display is completely different. It's a whole new system here. So in the middle, I can see my speed. Right now, we're only going 60 and 70 miles an hour. This bike does have a top speed of 30 miles an hour, which you might hear that and think, well, that's pretty low, which, I mean, yes, it is. The CPX goes up to 60 miles an hour, and on a downhill, I have had that up to 65. But I think this bike was designed with city riders in mind. And if you take London, for example, pretty much all the roads are max 20 miles an hour. So there's no real need to have more than 30 miles an hour on a bike like this if you're just going to be using it to commute to and from work, nip to the shops, things like that. So I think that's one of the reasons. And I think by keeping it at 30 miles an hour, it does help increase the battery life and the distance on this bike. It only has one battery underneath the seat, whereas the CPX does have two. Although this battery is quite a funny shape. I'll show you a video on screen now. You can actually see it kind of forms a triangle shape at the bottom of it. And I think the reason they've done this is they wanted to keep the bike as small as possible while also getting the most out of the bike. So they've created a custom battery shape to fit as much battery in the bike as physically possible, which I do appreciate. It'll be interesting to see how much % we end on at the end of this journey. So got 3.3 miles to this customer. We're currently at 73% on the screen here. I do like how clear and easy it is to see the percentages on here. I think it's a bit more clear than the CPX. But yeah, it'll be interesting to find out how much battery we're going to be on at the end of this. Can we nip around this bus? I think we're going to be able to make that in time before that van comes. Are we? Yes, just in time. Perfect. Right, I believe we're going to the other side of Hampstead Heath, so this should be a pretty nice drive over there. What time is it? It's just coming up to 3 o'clock now, so you could say we're coming out at lunchtime, but also the schools are back now, so I imagine we're going to see a lot of traffic with parents going to pick up their kids from school. There's also quite a lot of people out. It's quite a nice day today. Yesterday, oh my god, yesterday was so nice. The sun was shining. It felt like the middle of summer again. I don't know what happened yesterday. It was a complete anomaly. But today it's back to sort of grey clouds. But at least it's not raining and it's not too cold either, which is quite nice. One thing I have noticed is this bike doesn't tell me the temperature. My CPX does tell me the temperature, and I used to use that a lot to know how cold and warm it was out. I just want to say thank you to you guys as well for all the support on the channel recently. It's been absolutely incredible, and I know a few of you wanted to see just a full video of me doing a single order so you can see the full journey, because obviously in my normal videos we do a lot of cut-in montages, things like that, so you don't really get to see the true reality of doing a full delivery. And sometimes it does look a lot nicer than what it is, you know. You'll see me pick up and then sort of 20 seconds later in your eyes, I'm at the customer's door. But in reality, that's not the case. You know, there's been a full journey from me to the customer. There's been, you know, road rage, things like that with other cars and a load of mishaps. So yeah, today's video, you're going to get to see exactly what it's like. There is quite a bit of traffic around here. There's still loads of roadworks going on, unfortunately. I mean, look at that. They've shut off that whole road going that way. Wow, that's insane. Are they stopping that being a road in general, or are they just doing pipe work? I think they're just doing some pipe work there. They must have rerouted the traffic all the way around. This phone holder's kind of wibbling and wobbling all over the place, isn't it? It was the only option I had though. That's one downfall to this bike so far I've noticed, is there's not really any mounting points to put things, which I do like having that on my CPX. Especially as a delivery driver, you know, I mount my phone to it. Sometimes I'll mount like a torch on there or something. Oh my god, look at the dogs, so cute. Are these guys just going to stand in the middle? Yeah, they are. And you might have heard me mention earlier, one of you is going to be able to get your hands on this bike. And that's because I've teamed up with Vmoto to actually raffle this bike off for just £2 a ticket. And that's right, you could own this bike right here for just £2. The link will be down below in the description. And if you do enter, you don't need to worry about collecting the bike. Vmoto will actually come and deliver the bike to you in the UK. But if you want to come and collect it off me personally, then you can also do that. When you win, just let me know. And yeah, if you want to come collect it, you can. Or if you want it to be delivered to you, that's also not a problem. Now, I know some people are watching from outside of the UK right now thinking, oh, can I enter still? Can I be involved? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. So this is not just limited to the UK. No matter where you are in the world, you can enter this competition. However, if you win and you're not from the UK, what we'll do is we'll sell the bike on your behalf. You can either let us know how much you want us to list it for, or we can do an auction, something like that. We'll figure it out when you win, and then we'll directly send you over the money for the bike, however much we get for it. So this way, it's not limiting people just from the UK. I know there's people watching from all around the world, which I think is really cool. So yeah, no matter where you are, you can enter the competition for this bike. The link will be down below in the description or at the top of the comments. And for just £2, you could own a road legal Vmoto electric moped. Right, how many modes do we have on this bike? Okay, 3 modes. So on the CPX, there's like a 1, 2, and 3 button here that you slide across, whereas this, you've kind of just got a plus and a minus, and you can flick between them. So you do need to look at your screen to see what mode you're in rather than looking down here. So that's going to take some getting used to. But I do like how the indicator, when you indicate, you can actually press the button there to cancel the indicator. Look at that. On the CPX that I'm on, you have, it's like a physical switch that goes left to right. And you have to push it back into the middle to cancel it rather than push down. And I'm guilty for just leaving my indicators on so much. You guys call me out in the comments for it all the time. So with this one, hopefully we're not going to do that. And something pretty crazy is there's actually cruise control on this bike. Look at that. I'm not accelerating at all, and we're sticking to 22 miles an hour. Cruise control, that is crazy. Oh my god, this is the first ever time I've used cruise control on a bike. This is terrifying. Oh my god. Wait, this is such a weird feeling. Oh my god, wait, if I press the brake, okay, if I press the brake, it comes out of cruise control. That's crazy. Isn't it insane that there's like so many more features like cruise control on a bike that's way cheaper than the bike I'm on? That's mental. Yo, that felt crazy. Can you do it as... Okay, wait, why is it not engaging now? Okay, it's engaged. Wait. I think you can engage it at any speed, yeah, 12 miles an hour, cruise control. Wow. That's pretty cool. I don't know how useful that's going to be in somewhere like London with a lot of stop-starting, but I imagine if you're someone who commutes to work and you've got like a 30 road almost the whole way, you could just set this 30 miles an hour cruise control and you wouldn't have to really worry too much. You just focus on the road itself and obviously brake in if you need to, but yeah, you could definitely relax a bit more. I don't know how much I'm going to use that because it seems a bit scary to me. I'm not used to having cruise control. Right, which way are we going? Right down here. One thing I will say on this is because it's a much smaller bike, I think the suspension is either non-existent or a lot smaller than the CPX because I am feeling the bumps and grooves in the road a bit more on this bike. Yeah, it's definitely not as comfortable as the CPX, but I don't think it's designed to be on for as long as a CPX. Right, we're up in Amsterdam. We've got a traffic warden over there. We'll try to avoid those today. Yeah, look at this traffic down here. This is definitely because of the school rush. Hampstead is a great place for this bike though. Hampstead is known for being really small and a lot of tight twists and turns. And a lot of traffic as well, especially at times like this. Right, we're still, oh my god, 9 minutes away from this customer. What's going on here? What is this guy not driving past? Are they looking for directions? What's going on? I don't know where they are, just stood in the middle of the road. What is this car? Is this car okay? I don't know what they're doing. What is that? Is that a poster? That's a rug. Oh my god. She's getting on the bus with a rug that's bigger than the bus stop. That was crazy. Did you guys see that? How on earth is she going to get on the bus with that? I kind of want to go back there and get on the bus just to see what's going to happen. That sounds very interesting. I remember once when I first came to uni, my uni accommodation, me and one of my friends found a TV for free, completely free on Facebook Marketplace. It was like a 60-inch TV. It was absolutely massive. But we were living up in Wembley at student accommodation in Wembley, and this person selling or giving away the TV was down in South London. So we took a bus down there to get the TV. And then in our heads, we just thought, oh, we'll carry it back, or we'll carry it back onto a bus and, you know, it'd be no problems. Once we got there, oh my God, the TV was so heavy. It was huge. I don't think we anticipated how big and heavy the TV was actually going to be. And I don't know if any of you have tried to carry a TV with a friend before, but it's kind of awkward. It doesn't exactly have handles on it. Like, there's no grip at all. So we were there, like, trying to carry this massive TV through the streets, trying to get to a bus stop. It was like something out of Laurel and Hardy or the Chuckle Brothers. It was like a to me to you situation the whole time. Yeah, we managed to get it onto a bus anyway, and we didn't really have much space to put it on the bus. We had to stand in like the area where you're meant to put wheelchairs or push chairs, and both of us were looking at each other and thinking, oh, I really hope someone that just got a push chair or needs this for a wheelchair doesn't get on. We go like 2 stops. What happens? 2 people with a wheelchair come on. So we actually got off the bus and waited for the next one. Yeah, it was a whole palaver. We had to get 3 buses back, I think, to get to Wembley. It took us like 2 or 3 hours in total, but it was worth it, you know. We used that TV throughout the whole year, had a lot of fun with that. We also brought a Nintendo Wii for like £20 off Facebook Marketplace that year, and we just spent most of the year playing Wii Sports and Mario Kart. That was quite fun. Yeah, seeing that woman with the rug then just reminded me of that. I don't know why that guy was beeping. There was plenty of space for me to get down there, especially on this little bike we're on today. I'm really enjoying this bike so far. When I saw that it had a max speed of 30 miles an hour, I thought, I'm not really going to enjoy it as much as I enjoy my other bike, but I never go more than 20-ish miles an hour anyway, so it's not really affecting me in that way. I thought maybe the acceleration will be slower on this thing, but it's still very punchy. You twist that throttle and you shoot off. I am up in mode 3 right now, which is the highest mode you can go in, so maybe that's why. The horn is so cute. Oh my god, that horn is so much higher pitched than the one I'm used to. It's quite cute. Right, we do have a hill coming up, quite a steep hill. It's probably not going to portray on the camera. It never really does, but this will be a very good test for this bike. Right, and we're going from a stop start here at a red light. Let's put it in mode 3, the highest mode, give it the best chance possible. And let's see how this does. My normal bike would just fly up here, but I believe the motor on this bike is a lot smaller. So let's see, right, full acceleration. Okay, 12, 13 miles an hour, 14, 15, 16, 17. We are climbing, we've got a speed bump here. Flown over that, right, we're up to 20 miles an hour now, no problem at all. Cruising up here. Okay, that was pretty light work. It definitely took longer to get up than it would on maybe my CPX, but I wouldn't say it struggled. It definitely started out slow. I believe the torque and the acceleration on this is a bit less than the CPX, which is why. But as soon as it started to get up to a bit of speed, it had no problems getting up that hill there. All right, I'm going to go back onto cruise control while we're here. How do we do cruise control? I forgot how to do cruise control. Oh, there we go. So you press the time button down here, and then this green signal comes on, and that signals cruise control. I'm going to have to take it off again, though, because of the traffic, of course. Now, Vmoto say the range on this bike is 50 miles, which for only having one battery, I don't think is too bad. Obviously, my CPX Pro has a range of around 80-85 miles, but that's with 2 different batteries in it. All right, and here we are at the customers. That did take a little while. Definitely not worth the pay, but I am glad we got to test out that bike. You're right, mate. You're welcome. There you are, man. Enjoy, you too. So here is a closer look at the bike we're on today. This is the Vmoto CUX Pro, as you can see down here at the back. This is the blue colorway. I believe it comes in blue, white, grey and black. But I think the blue one looks so cool. Now, one of the biggest differences I actually noticed, I don't think I talked about this in the video, is down here there's actually like a pouch. It reminds me of like a kangaroo pouch where you can kind of put things inside. Obviously, my bike before had just one single pouch on the side here where you can't really fit too much, maybe a power bank or some extra cables. But this has a nice big pouch here, so you can fit a decent amount in here, to be fair. Like, that's about as deep as my hands, so not too bad. This is the switch used for the indicators. And then below it you have your horn, and then this is actually the button that I was using for the cruise control, something I've not seen before and my first ever time on a bike, so yeah, that was quite fun to use. And then here's a closer look at the display. You can see it's a lot different. Let me actually quickly turn it on for you guys. You can see it's a lot different to my other bike, but it's kind of cool. It looks very like futuristic, I think. Here's a closer look from the front as well. Very interesting, the headlight being sort of up here in the handlebar rather than down here, which is what I'm used to. But I guess this is more eye level for a lot of people, so you might be more visible like this. Now, the battery actually sits underneath the seat here, same as all CPXs. Now, the charging port and the charging cable might look quite similar. However, this is a lot smaller in person than the CPX batteries. So that's what I mean. This really reminds me of like a child of the CPX. It's quite funny. You can see here the battery is 60 volts and 43 amp hours. It is quite a heavy battery, but if I pull it out, you can see what I mean about that triangle formation at the bottom. They've made a custom shape for this battery to really try and utilize that space underneath the seat here. So they've still managed to keep the bike nice and small, but they've optimized that battery space in there to give you the most out of the bike for its size. And then just coming down here to the rear of the bike, you've got this kind of big glass panel where you can see your brake lights out of and your indicators also. Very futuristic looking compared to the CPX. I do like that. I think it's a very smart little bike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit different and the pace was probably a little bit different in today's video, but hopefully you enjoyed it nevertheless. And don't worry if you enjoy the normal videos of me doing loads of deliveries and getting up to random stuff here in London, because in a few days there'll be a new video on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. Remember, if you do want to get your hands on this bike for yourself, there'll be a link down below in the description to the competition. It's just £2 a ticket. You don't have to worry about coming to collect the bike. We will deliver it for you, but you can come and collect it off me personally if you do want to. And remember, if you're not from the UK, you can still enter. You'll just get the money amount for the bike rather than the physical bike itself. And also, I don't know if I should be telling you guys this, but there's going to be a few hidden little prizes going towards the winner as well. Not just the bike, but we'll talk more about that in the future. But yeah, a few more things than just the bike itself, so quite exciting. And I should probably mention as well, you get 2 sets of keys, you get the charger, everything like that. And it is a fresh bike. It's literally done 20 miles just from me filming a video on it. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, be sure to drop a like down below. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much to all the members who are on screen right now. And like always, thank you for watching.